Hi everyone, welcome back to Building Communities Initiative, your go-to channel for inspiring stories and insightful discussions with the remarkable individuals behind the success of our company. I am Saurabh, your host and the Public Relations Manager here at BCI. In this episode of BCI, we have a special guest who has recently returned from a business trip to Africa, where he met with leaders from a variety of organizations to explore the opportunities and ways to improve the lives of people in the region. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to our visionary Chief Operations Officer and co-founder, Mr. Nenad Novkovic. Hello, Mr. Novkovic. Thank you for joining us today and giving us your precious time to this new episode of BCI. I greatly appreciate your presence and I eagerly look forward to discussing your recent Africa tour and the impactful initiatives you have been leading in this continent. So, first of all, please tell me when and from where you started your Africa tour.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for this lovely opportunity to give you my reflection on this amazing Africa tour. I started in Uganda because Uganda is one of our prime markets at the moment. So from there, I moved on to Mozambique. And after that, I visited Nigeria and Ghana. And all these countries have a great potential and will pose a big strategic move for BCI into the African market.
So, what was the main motive of this trip? Like, was it a business trip or?
This was a business trip purely, and the mission was to secure the existing contacts, to secure the existing contracts, and to forge new partnerships. So I had an opportunity to visit the site and to visit our existing business in Uganda and sign a contract with a subcontractor who will deliver the works for this very amazing project and very important regional hub in Eastern Africa. And then I had an opportunity to visit partners in all these other markets that I mentioned, and also form a strategic partnership in Nigeria.
That's great. So, what are some of the key challenges or obstacles you have encountered in the executing projects in Africa?
Well, unfortunately, Africa has some issues, and we've been trying to work with the governments and institutions throughout the continent ever since the inception of BCI, which was 4 years ago. And we have tried to work with all the parties to overcome these systemic issues that exist within these countries. Our main mission is basically to establish a sustainable and long-lasting concept and system in all of these countries to support affordable housing for all the people in need. So we are working on this. We have been working on this, and this trip was very fruitful in this regard because we did forge new partnerships that will help us deliver this mission further.
That is commendable, Mr. Novkovic. Are you implementing any modern age technologies in the construction of these projects?
Yes, of course. Ever since the inception of BCI, which was, I repeat, 4 years ago, our mission was to find a sustainable way to quickly deliver as many homes as possible for all the people in need throughout the developing world. And this mission so far has been a success. And part of this success has been the technology that we use. And this is an Australian-based formwork technology which use innovative materials that are environmentally friendly, and that at the same time, while supporting our mission in speedy delivery of homes, also supports the global mission of tackling the issue of global warming and reducing the waste worldwide. So it is something that we see is a crucial part of the future.
That's great. So, while this technology brings advantages, as you said, are there any demerits or challenges associated with this implementation?
Well, at the moment, we don't have any issues. Unfortunately, the world has been through a global pandemic, and this is something that affected all our lives and the lives and companies worldwide. So the supply chains, of course, and the manufacturing was gravely infected by the pandemic itself. But after that, now we are progressing well, and there are no obstacles whatsoever. The shipping is working perfectly throughout the world, and there are sufficient raw materials to continue to manufacture this technology. Therefore, I think it is something that is meant for the future and is there to stay. So we will continue pushing for this technology with our markets and with our partners, because we believe that this is something that will bring the sustainable development to all the actors and all the stakeholders involved.
That's great. That's great. I've seen some social media posts of you meeting with the Paramount chief of the Cape Coast and discussing the Endowment Fund. Could you shed some light on this initiative and its significance?
Of course, of course. It was a great pleasure to meet His Royal Highness Osabarima Kwesiata II, who is the Paramount Chief of the Cape Coast, as you mentioned. And this was a huge privilege for me and for BCI as well, because this is an equivalent to a state visit to the Cape Coast community. And we did have an opportunity to present our cause, to present our mission, and also to make a pledge that we will support the Endowment Fund as soon as possible. And I was able to see the need there, then and there. And it is very sad. And whatever we can do, and whenever we can engage more partners and more people to participate and partake in these missions, it will just fill our hearts. So we'll continue working on that.
Okay. So considering the poverty rate in South African nations, it is commendable that you are taking steps through the BCI to address this issue. Are there any specific sectors or industries where you believe our company can make a significant impact in Africa?
Well, since we are in construction and in real estate development business, developing home, delivering home to people will significantly influence these markets. But not only that, because our technology and our mission, the way it was formed, is to also do training and to establish a very capable and skillful local workforce in all the markets that we work in. So we want these people to gain sufficient skills and to receive the proper training in order to implement those on future projects, especially working in collaboration with us. So this is one part of the mission, and the other part of the mission is setting up regional hubs, manufacturing hubs, logistics hubs that will be able to take on all the scope and scale of the mission that we have for the future. So those two pillars will be crucial for our for the local development and our participation. We want to bring prosperity to the people who live in those homes, and the gap is huge. Only Africa has a deficit of approximately 50 million homes. So imagine what giving or delivering 50 million homes to people and their families would do to the continent and to these countries. So this is going to remain our mission, and we will work on it with all our forces.
Okay, that's great. So it's truly enlightening for me to hear about your Africa tour and the initiatives you are undertaking. We look forward to seeing the positive impact of these projects and your continued efforts for improving the livelihood of the people in need. So thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Novkovic, and giving us your precious time to this episode.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
And thanks to all our viewers for tuning in. If you found this interview insightful, then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more engaging conversations. Until next time, take care, stay happy, and keep building communities.